Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us, we've got a new knife from Kansept Knives, and I gotta tell you, Kansept has rapidly become one of my favorite new knife companies now. They're not new in many ways. Kim Ning and some of the other folks from Kansept are old hat over from Kaiser. They left to do their own thing, and so far their own thing has been, well, fantastic. Now, this is a design by Kmaxrom, K-M-A-X-R-O-M. This is the Pelican. And this is, well, it's not generally my kind of knife. And for those of you that watch this channel a lot, you'll know why. It's small, but it's small in a really good way. That takes something special. I'm not a small knife fan. We know this. Every once in a while, however, one will appear that works, and this is just that kind of a knife. Now, the first thing I actually thought of when I got this thing in hand was another small knife that works very well for me. This is a Spyderco PM3, and as you can see, they are actually, the PM3 is a little longer in the handle, but the Kansept Pelican, you get a lot more cutting surface. I mean, just a lot more. In hand, if you're up here on the choil, the PM3 has a very particular feel to it, right? It fits the hand very, very well. The Pelican has no forward choil, so you got to rely on the handle, but it's the same. And the landing spot for the thumb for push cuts is just about perfect. This is a superb little pocket knife. I really like it, and that blows me away because I got it out of the box and it was like, nah, it's a small knife, whatever. And then I held it, and then I carried it, and then I cut with it, and my attitude about this knife changed completely and very, very quickly. The action is very good. It is thumb stud deployed, and those work every time. There is one missed opportunity here, and you can see it right there. If there was jimping at the top of this blade, you could, well, yeah, you can't do it. You could front flip this thing. Maybe on a follow-up, they'll put a little jimping right here. The knife itself is very attractive. They make this in a couple of different versions. There is a plain blade with kind of a light gray titanium. There's this blacked out version. I like this quite a bit, and I'm not usually that much of a fan of knives that are all blacked out, but this thing looks really good. It has a backspacer back here, which matches the milling, as you can see. Just from top to bottom, this is a well-sorted little pocket knife. And again, it is very small. It is, but it's small in a way that just works. You know, here are some other smaller knives that just work. You've got the bug out. Small knife, not a big deal. Fits my hand very, very well, very comfortable. PM3 fits my hand very, very well, very comfortable. The Civivi Ortus is a little bigger than the rest of these, but not much. It is a reasonably small knife that just happens to fit my hand very, very well. And my assumption is, and maybe I'm wrong here, but if it fits my big old meat hooks, it's going to work really well for everybody else. You know, that's one of the things about having really big hands, is it's sort of a bummer, because there are a ton of really excellent small knives that I sort of miss out on, because often, because of the shape of the handle or the way they've done the actual spine of the, you know, there's lots of reasons they just don't work for me. And so when a designer comes along and puts a really easily pocketable small knife in my hand that just works, I like to make note of it and make a lot of noise about it because I think it's really worth it. The Kansept Pelican, is one of those knives. It just is. It is surprising how awesome this thing is. Now, it is not as deep carry as I would have liked. They did make space for a lanyard. If you are a lanyard user, you're well suited here. They've taken care of you. Which means that this pocket clip is down about that far, which on a very short knife, not the greatest thing in the world. But let's finish talking about the pocket clip. There is no hot spot here, and because of the way it's designed, there you go, It slips in and out of even really thick jeans, which, thanks to the winter months we are wearing again, really easily, and it does hold very securely. I would have liked it if it had dropped all the way down here to the end, but the designer wanted space for a lanyard hole, and that's what they got. Beyond the lanyard space, you can see the blade uses up almost all, except for that very end bit, which is for the lanyard, of the handle itself. It fills it out very nicely. Closed profile is, I think, really attractive. So what do you get? Well, let's get some basic measurements out of the way. You get 1, 2, right? 3 inches of cutting on just at 3 inches of S35 VN. The grip area, from just behind the swell here in the handle, you get 1, 2, 3.5, right, full inches. But the way it's designed, as you can see, my pinky hangs over just a little bit, but because this isn't sharp, it's just a nice groove. My fingers fit in this thing really, really comfortably. It is a 4-finger knife, even with a 3-inch grip. Now, because of that, I am pushed right up against this edge, but they put a nice sharpening choil right here, little tiny choil, which gives just enough space between the handle. All right. Now, for most things, I'm back a little bit like that, which gives up a little bit of my pinky. But my point is that this thing manages to fit in my hand very comfortably. I bet women carrying knives will absolutely love this thing when she gets a chance to carry it around and play with it. The overall knife is reasonably small, as I said. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches overall, right? It's very nice. Let's see how much it weighs. No, we don't want grams. 3.5 ounces. So, 3-inch blade, all titanium build, right at 3.5 ounces. That's pretty good. This is a really effectively weighed knife design. Let me see if there's milling. Yeah, there's milling on the inside of the scales, both sides. So that's where the weight reduction comes from. Now, unfortunately, my calipers still aren't working, so I can't tell you exactly how thick the blade steel is here, but let's do a comparison. This, of course, is the Rat Model 1. The blade steel is a little bit thicker than on the Rat Model 1. What else can we compare it against? And, of course, it's going to be considerably thicker than the Bug Out. Yeah, right, much thicker than the Bug Out. Look, they managed to make this thing weigh 3.5 ounces, even though it is all titanium running on bearings. They've done a fantastic job of weight reduction. The blade is a completely usable shape. I just love this design. I really do. Look, it's $180 right around there. And the reason I shared that is because, you know, if you were going to get yourself the the PM2 or PM3, excuse me, which is, you know, $150 for $30 more, you get all titanium, S35VN running on bearings, very similar blade shape as the Spyderco Leaf, at least on this end of it. I think this is a great small size, or for most people mid-size, lightweight pocket option. I really do. And I think that Kansept continues to knock it out of the park. I am absolutely overjoyed to have had the chance to review this and get a look at it. I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.